So I've had some pretty bad days. Days that actually lasted weeks. Days where coping felt really impossible and everything I tried seemed to just make it worse. Over time, I've found a handful of things that actually helped me, and today I want to share them with you. Not as advice, but as what works for me. First off, I want to be upfront. At the time of creating this, I am not a therapist. I am not a counselor. I am someone who has been through some really hard times and some really hard things and has had to figure out how to cope uh, through the help of education, behavioral health, peer support, and just really a lot of trial and error. What I'm sharing today is what works for me. You might find some of it useful, you might not. But I think there's value in hearing real coping tools from a real person with lived experience instead of a textbook. So here's what actually helps me on the hard days. First, I name what's happening. It doesn't have to be loud, it doesn't have to be externally, it could just be internally. Literally saying, this is a hard effing day and I'm really struggling right now. I know that sounds small, but it does something. It stops me from pretending that everything is fine, which just makes me push harder until I break. Second, lower the bar, right? Lower the bar dramatically. On a hard day, my goal is not to be productive. My goal is to get through without making things worse. That's a real goal. Getting through the day counts. Third, I use my body. When my brain is spiraling, I do something physical, even small. If I can't get out of bed, I sit up in bed. Take a walk, do some stretching. I wash my face with cold water. The body and the brain are connected, and moving the body can interrupt a thought spiral in a way that thinking about the thought spiral never can. Fourth, I use the support I have. Behavioral health, I have access to peer groups on the hardest days. On the hardest days when I find myself without support, I like to get out into public spaces instead of isolating and do some people watching and some reflection. Maybe even get brave and talk to a stranger. I even park a little farther away so I can do some extra walking. Isolation for me makes everything worse. It might be for you too. Fifth, I give myself a time window. When everything feels super heavy, I tell myself, just get to tonight or just get through this hour. Not tomorrow, not next week, just tonight. That shortens the distance to something manageable for me. If you need to, shorten the time to an hour, right? Let me get through this hour. Sixth, I remind myself of all the hard days that I've gotten through before. And trust me, there's been so many, right? Every single one. That's real evidence. My brain tries to tell me this time somehow is gonna be different, but this time I won't make it. But the record shows otherwise. I like to hold on to that. Everything that I've been through and how I got here already. Finally, I try to look at my strengths. Count my wins. Any win. Getting out of bed is a win, right? Brushing your teeth is a win. And I do my best to look at what's going on, what's going right, right? Let's not focus on the deficits, focus on what's going right. I know these aren't magic. They don't fix anything, but they've kept me moving on days when I didn't think I could. And that's worth something. I'm sharing these because someone shared theirs with me once and it helped. That's the whole point of this channel. You are stronger than you know. Oh, and one more thing. Stop and breathe. Don't forget to breathe. When things are kind of getting hectic, stop. Take a breath. And finally, subscribe and tell me in the comments what's one coping tool that's helped you. All right. Till next time.